All
If
right.
you or a loved
Welcome
one
back.
are Toronto Maple Leaf fans, please check up on them. It's been 5 days and I'm still in shock. I'm still in absolute utter disbelief. Because on Monday, the most predictable thing in the world happened. And
And
for some
because
reason,
and because of
it
these
stings.
glorious events, we have put on today the Dion Phaneuf Winter Classic jersey. I don't know if you can see the name there. Did a little bit of a squat there just for you guys.
Today I've gone
Oh,
with my funeral attire to address the post-mortem of what was a hilarious Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
you just can't stop Scory Perry, man.
I've got my John Travolta shirt. I don't know if you guys can
If
see
they
John Travolta.
signed John Travolta, I think they'd win a
This
game
time John
seven.
Travolta had John Tavares. Maybe that's what one before them.
But anyway,
Diego.
welcome back to Phaneuf Fanboys, people.
Yeah, talk
We're
about it.
we're very excited to finally make another episode after a very long hiatus. Actually, it's been like
We went on hiatus after the first round of the playoffs started.
literally.
And
So what has
I'm
happened?
very, very glad we did that because here's things that I would have told you if we had an episode last week.
Leafs in 5.
Man, I'm so excited to see the Toronto Maple Leafs win their first playoff series in my lifetime. I really think that the Panthers are going to pull this through.
Oh, I really thought about the Panthers too, man. That
I
one
can't
hurt.
believe that Nashville is going to pull some last seed bullshit again.
I'm so glad that didn't happen. Aleks can confirm. I was losing my shit. I was like, no more Nashville last seed bullshit. I can't handle it. I cannot handle it.
And of course, man, has Tristan Jarry ever been solid in the net for the Pens?
Big glove hand. Well, Varlamov showed off his Jarry glove hand last night.
Varlamov last night. And also, we would have told you that Grubauer sucks balls. But guess what? Billy Grub doesn't.
This is the only time you're going to catch me on camera saying that Phil Grubauer doesn't suck.
Apparently, he carried. Of course, I am partaking in the annual tradition of Leafs fans where we don't watch the second round because it's just too much pain.
I'll be honest too. I've had stuff. Like, last time I watched a full game was the game 7. So I do need to start catching up a little bit. I've seen like clips and stuff from the other games. I know generally how they've gone.
So I know stuff's happening right now, so you know. Yeah, you get it. You know, but it's like, who actually watches the second round? It's the most boring round.
I mean, the Habs are about to go to the conference.
That's true. Montreal has won 4 straight.
I still wouldn't even be shocked if the Jets still can't. Like, it's one game, right? Like, the series just started. It could still go either way. But I think the defense...
Connor Hellebuck has been, like, possessed by the ghost of Casey DeSmith. And...
the ghost of Casey DeSmith. Nice.
Yeah. Corey Perry's goated. Jake Evans, empty net sniper. And Mark Scheifele is an actual head sniper. Before I begin my Maple Leaf postseason rant, we will, in fact, talk about Mark Scheifele. So if you don't know about Mark Scheifele...
You do now.
He was... Scheifele's most known attribute in the NHL was being the guy who doesn't swear. So every time he'd get a bad penalty, he'd be like, oh, that's hogwash.
True.
We're playing like...
Very true, very true.
Poop brain. Now, Scheif was one of my favorite players. That was not a Toronto Maple Leaf.
We loved Scheif.
I thought he was a pretty cool dude, and the Jets are honestly a very likable team to me.
For the most part,
I mean, seeing them play 10 times, they're actually a dirty fucking ass team. But I like the Jets. There's something about the Jets I like. And you see, Scheifele did something not so likable the other day.
No, it was not very likable.
You look at it from every angle, and there's just like, it's so damning when you see that one last clip, the second before Evans is about to put in the net. Mark Scheifele's stick in the air,
Yeah, if he
and his eyes pointed straight at Evans.
If he was at least trying to play that puck, if he was trying to play that puck, it would have been like, okay.
That's a tough play, but it's a hockey play. But like he was trying to kill the guy.
He was literally only trying to run over Evans there. Like there was nothing else. Nothing else.
And then also I seen the advanced stats. Apparently Mark Scheifele doesn't back check. And as we know in this house, non-back checkers are not welcome.
As we know from playing with
we like to see some hustle.
Non-back checking is the normal.
Non-back, okay. We like to see some hustle over here on the PP pod. And we believe that
hustle.
PP appreciates hustle. Hustle that PP, baby. But
oh no.
But Mark Scheifele.
What do you think,
longer my dog.
4 games? You think 4 games is right?
I think 4 games is appropriate. I think Nazem Kadri gets 8, not because the hit was worse,
but because he's
because he's done it twice.
3
in
times.
The playoffs.
3.
That is insane stat. Before. I'm talking about before.
Oh, okay.
He's done that twice before. That is insane stats. That is like, I don't think anyone will ever break 3 playoff suspensions now.
There's no consistency with these NHL suspensions. There's no
Reeves
consistency.
Gets 2 games because the guy didn't friggin' die. And Reeves didn't go 4,000 feet to go deliver a flying shoulder.
I see your point, but what Reeves did was
that was bad.
He should not be playing another game in this playoffs.
That was pretty bad. If the guy,
was on edge.
What was even the point?
Like Reeves
why would you
decided you don't get to live today.
Cutting off his airways and whatever, like
that's not okay. I never want to see that happen in an NHL game again. And he's sitting 2 games.
It happens.
He's sitting.
And he's only getting 2.
I don't get that. There's no logical explanation here in my own.
Is his suspension over now, or was last game the first game?
Do they play tonight? If they play tonight, today's his second game served.
I thought they played last night. Let's take a look at the fucking schedule. I guess.
No, did he?
Yeah, they played tonight. So this is the last game.
Game 3, right? Yeah.
And it's also the first game of Mark Scheifele's 4-game suspension. Anyways, what do we think of the Jets' chances without Scheifele?
It's a blow, but because they're playing the Habs, I don't think it ruins it.
I think Habs in 4.
Really?
Dead ass.
I'm gonna take Habs in 6 right now, but I still think this series can go either way.
I think that the Habs are gonna do some random magical bullshit.
I could see it. I could really see it.
The Habs are consistently ass, and then they're gonna do this random playoff garbage, unless Carey Price turns into regular season.
Wait. Did someone say Nashville last seed bullshit?
Yes.
Montreal last seed bullshit?
Montreal last seed bullshit?
Montreal last seed bullshit?
That's actually becoming a thing now. Pittsburgh and Toronto know what's up, and soon to be the Jets, and then the Abs, but
Montreal in 4 over the Abs. You heard it here first.
If that happens, the Phaneuf Phanboys guarantee.
You subscribe to Phaneuf Phanboys if Montreal in 4 over the Abs. And
no,
if
you
they
subscribe.
If they don't do that, you subscribe as well.
If you subscribe to the Phaneuf Phanboys right now, Habs in 4, and then Habs in 5, they will gentlemen sweep the Colorado Avalanche.
True.
This would be nice.
No, but I like my proposal. If Habs beat the Avs in 4, you subscribe to Phaneuf Phanboys. If they don't,
so basically,
you subscribe to Phaneuf Phanboys. You feel it? You feel
what
it?
If they don't make it? What if they don't beat the Jets?
Then you subscribe to Phaneuf Phanboys on YouTube.
Okay. You know what? Maybe you have a better proposal. Are we rocking with one more thing now before we go on to my Maple Leaf postmortem, Maple Leaf rant? Are we rocking with Pierre Maguire not getting a job offer from ESPN or TNT?
We're not rocking with it, honestly. As much as Pierre sucks, he's a showman. He is a showman.
It's not going to be the same without Pierre Maguire.
You know,
I've heard some interesting comments about him. I've heard people say they need trigger warnings before the broadcast, and that Pierre is indeed on. But that being said, I don't know. I honestly don't know if I could watch that Eberle goal and just not hear. I wonder if anyone's edited out Pierre Maguire talking. And you get, can you believe it? And then it's just the crowd.
I can.
I can. I remember that clip being, he waits like a second or two. Immediately after Gordon Miller says it, he says, I can. And the crowd loves it. Tavares' magical play. How would I know that Tavares' magical play is what did it if it wasn't for Pierre?
See, the thing, like,
how would I know what middle school hockey team these guys played for?
True.
If it wasn't for Pierre.
True. Pierre's awful, but he makes it a little more entertaining. And hockey needs that, if I'm being honest with you.
Hockey does need that. He's like, well, he's not like Chuck or Shaq because they played. And their entertainment comes from like being players and whatever and shitting on guys.
How Gretzky takes over.
He's Pierre. What you can't replace him.
You can't.
Could you imagine Gary Thorne up in the booth with Pierre at ice level? And then they're talking about Colton Parayko. And it's like,
you're gonna
Pierre,
make me emotional, man.
Pierre, Colton Parayko has to ask the league. He has to actually get that express permission from the league to use that extra long stick of his.
Phaneuf Phanboys, because he's so tall. The only podcast where you can cry about Pierre McGuire.
And then Pierre will tell Gary, Gary, you had to ask ESPN for permission to bring your extra long stick into the league.
Wait. So what I'm hearing is Pierre's a free agent.
Pierre's... I can't imagine how many DMs a day Pierre McGuire's Instagram gets because I checked he only has 1,300 followers.
Hey, Pierre, do we have an offer for you?
We're DMing Pierre after this from the DP Studios account. And we're actually DMing Pierre right now. Diego, could you imagine how glorious this will be? Logging into Instagram.com right now, and we're going to DM Pierre McGuire.
Welcome to our live Pierre McGuire contact session, where we will get
official Pierre McGuire message.
Yo, you got Discord, Pierre?
Yo, Pierre.
We're here to offer you a contract of $0.
Okay, no, let's be nice. Hello, Pierre. Hello, Pierre. Me and my friend are huge fans.
Huge fans.
And
I agree.
And we love watching you and your broadcasts nightly. We heard some unfortunate news.
No, don't bring that up. We don't want to get him down.
We hear that next year you might be
available.
A free agent looking for a new broadcasting challenge.
Ooh.
We run an up and coming hockey podcast and would absolutely love to see you join the team to really make it a three-headed goat broadcast team, as it were. Please DM us if you have further inquiry. Love, the Phaneuf Phanboys. All right. So now that Pierre McGuire is on our broadcasting team for next year, we can get into some of the heavier material of the show.
We're set. We're destined for stardom.
We're destined for stardom.
We have Pierre.
I really hope that he doesn't get mad at us when I bring up his unfortunate, the I Can incident of 2009. Or was it 2008? No, it was 2009. Early 2009. Wasn't it? I don't know.
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Didn't tell you. Anyways, the main topic of today's episode. You've waited long enough. As you guys can tell by my clean-shaven baby face, I've even gotten rid of the mustache for the first time.
The mustache is gone.
Months. The mustache is
The
gone.
playoff beard.
Gone.
Gone forever, but not forgotten.
Forever, but not forgotten. My boys, my Toronto Maple Leafs, let me down, frankly, and I believe they let everyone down.
And they will not be in round 2.
They will not be in round 2. I remember quite vividly crying in my bed after that round 1 heartbreaking overtime loss to the Washington Capitals in 2017, and thinking,
only gets better from here.
It only gets better from here. 2018, sitting in business class,
Poor Mitch
making
Marner,
presentations.
puck over glass penalties later.
Sitting in business class, making presentations about how Thomas Buchanan is going to lead this team to a cup. I wish I could be as delusional as I was back then.
Speaking of Alex's business class presentations, I'm going to give a little throwback for you all, because you guys don't know. But Aleks made a big stink about the TSN turning point of the Nazem Kadri suspension, and how this moved Tomas Buchanan into a first-line role, and how this changed the dynamics of the series and would help the Leafs win, which we know they didn't, unfortunately.
Well, to be fair, they won 2 straight right after that, and Buchanan scored a goal.
I have a counter TSN turning point for the Habs
new
Jets
counter
series. TSN turning point, Pierre-Luc Dubois finally plays hockey again.
He decided to be good?
What if he decides to be good and Jets in 5? Gentleman sweep.
All that he has to do is think of those Montreal Bleu, Blanc, et Rouge as the blue Toronto Maple Leaf logo. And then he will activate that killer instinct that he, for some reason, only has against the one team.
In a 5-game playoff series.
The Leafs are like Dubois' Jazz. If you know, if you ever watched The Last Dance, such as an intellectual scholar such as I did, you will know that Michael Jordan turned it up. Michael Jordan played in the playoff.
And I took that personally.
Michael Jordan turned it up when he had to play the Pistons. MJ was an incredible player. Now, of course, Pierre-Luc Dubois sucks balls. And I actually don't really know where I'm going with an analogy more than I think about it.
All right,
imagine Michael Jordan sucked against everybody except for the Pistons. If you watch basketball and you're here. That's what Pierre-Luc Dubois is like.
We don't let Aiden talk about basketball. Shout out to
Aiden. No, but we have to keep a basketball segment. We're going to talk about basketball in the last minute of the show, but you'll never know which last minute it is.
That is true.
This is how we're going to keep Aiden hooked.
This is how we're going to keep Aiden hooked.
And we're going to talk about basketball at some random interval
so it'll be
of the show. Anyways, Pierre-Luc Dubois sucked. Where was I going with this? I remember being on the Stanley Cup playoffs bracket screen.
And picking Toronto.
I remember the day after Game 7 when it showed Boston in the second round, moving on. Just clicking and dragging that Leafs logo over the Bruin logo. Over the Bruin logo. Over the Bruin logo. I was consoled uncontrollably by damn near everybody, except for, of course, Diego. In the class, it was a rough day to be me. But you know what? The boys put up a good fight, a good hustle. They even came back from down 3-1 in a series.
And they now have the longest Stanley Cup drought in NHL history.
We'll get them next year. And next year, we had the chance.
Next year's our year, boys.
We had John Tavares. We had Joao Tavares.
Joao Tavares.
He put up damn near 50 goals, 100 points. Turned Mitch Marner into the GOAT.
Trade Mitch Marner for...
Sure, it was a bit of an up and down, a bit of a bumpy ride, but we had 100 points again. We played the Bruins again. We won game 1.
What happened?
We lost game 2.
Oh.
As well as Nazem Kadri.
Oh.
We won game 3. Sure, we lost game 4.
Oh.
But we won game 5. On the back of Austin Matthews and Kasperi Kapanen carrying the shit out of the team.
Oh my God, I'm hooked.
I never want to hear Austin Matthews slander again. I never want to hear Austin Matthews needs Mitch Marner to produce. That guy put up a 40-goal season with Andreas Johnsson and Kasperi Kapanen.
Shout out to Lizzie in the YouTube live chat saying she likes our little titles that we made last week. We didn't put them on
2 weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago. We just kind of left them there and forgot about them. And Aleks is not
they're
very
in Comic
happy with
Sans
my creation of them.
And now we are stuck with that forever because that's our brand.
This is our brand, Purple Comic Sans Italic.
It happens. But you guys know at least who's talking now.
Exactly.
Anyway.
The ugly one's Aleks. Ugly in a good way.
I see.
Yeah, see?
3-2 series, taking it home, and we're going to finish off the Bruins in front of our home crowd of 20,000 plus. A sea of blue. At 3:00 in the afternoon. And they lost by like 1. They just couldn't get the empty netter. You know what? It wouldn't be a Toronto-Boston series if it didn't go to 7. It just wouldn't. It really would not.
The tears.
The tears.
Oh, I'm going to outliz you for texting me this right now. Aleks is so cute.
I digress. I'm too busy being mad. I should hear Lizzie's a free agent right now, so I'm not saying, anyways.
Anyway, Islanders in 7.5.
We'll talk about that later. No, we won't actually. We're spending the rest of the show talking about how shit the Leafs are. In game number 7, the Leafs lay an egg.
Leafs lay an egg?
The thing about game 7 against the Bruins is that 2013, 2018, and 2019 all had one constant. They fucked it. They didn't shit. They fucked the bed in the third period. 2013, 3 goals against in the last 10 minutes. They scored 2 in the first 10, 3 against in the last 10. Negated. 2018, 5 years later, revenge tour, up 4-3 in the third, lost 7-4. You let in 4 unanswered in the third period. It's insane. It's insane.
It's insane.
Insane.
It's insane.
2019, down 2-1. We go into the third. 1 goal knocks it up.
Just 1.
1 goal. Blow it. 5-1 loss. Abysmal. So basically now Leafs fans are getting worried that there might actually not be anything to hope for. And then the beginning of the season last year basically confirms that, yeah, there is nothing to hope for. The Leafs suck.
There's nothing to hope for.
It's like, what's even going to happen? Are they even going to make the playoffs? And I mean, look at Tyson Barrie hasn't scored a friggin' goal.
Tyson Barrie. Oh, we should talk about Tyson.
Nick Patan gets robbed by Marc-Andre Fleury. Nick Patan gets robbed by Marc-Andre Fleury. And this causes an absolute tsunami wave to crash down onto the NHL as we know it. Nick Patan
was Nick Patan the TSN turning point?
Was the TSN turning point for racism.
Aleks.
If that did not happen,
be careful with your next words.
Bill Peters would still have a job and not be in Russia.
Okay, so we're moving on to our next segment. All right, so let's talk Let's talk about actual playoff series that are on right now. We're gonna cut off Alex's Leaf history.
No, I'm still going.
Down a path that we do not want to go down a second time in a row.
Mike Babcock.
No.
Is fired. Sheldon Keefe replaces him. And you know what? In a historic, symbolic type of way, Mike Babcock, first game he's gone, first game Keefe's in, Tyson Barrie scores a freaking goal.
That was a beautiful goal, too. I remember that. That was an awesome goal.
And he'd end the season with 5.
I traded for him in fantasy that year after the Babcock firing.
Greatest move Diego's ever made.
I mean, I did win fantasy this year, just a flex.
Usually an up thing. The Leafs kind of take a little dip, but that's usually what they do in March. COVID hits, and when we come back, they beat the shit out of Montreal in the exposition. The explanation game?
Expedition.
Oh, I'm blanking. Exhibition game. Exhibition game.
God, even I
oh my
that up.
God, we're stupid. That was a bad moment
English.
for Phaneuf Phanboys.
Anyway, go off.
Then the Montreal. Play Columbus, lose game 1. Whatever. Win game 2. Okay. Game 3, I think, is when I realized that this franchise was doomed. I don't know if you remember the absolute freak out I had after that game, Diego. But I think it's one of my more legendary Snapchat stories of all time.
It definitely is.
Watching a man descend into depression. It probably didn't
help that whole night, me and Jack just kept DMing you Pierre-Luc Dupog.
Dupog, and then you made the Pierre-Luc Dupog meme thing, and then I got calls from all my friends, and I was like, I need to be left alone. I need to cry. Pierre. That was the moment I basically lost all faith in the Leafs. That was the moment when I realized, oh my God, this is never going to change. But then, it's like...
You won the North. But then you won the North.
But then, in Game 4...
Oh.
Down 3-0 with 2 minutes to go, they make the comeback and win in overtime. And it's like they suck you back in. They suck. They pull you in closer.
They pull you in, they hold you tight and say everything's going to be okay.
I'm going to change for you.
But people don't change.
Game 5.
People don't change.
3-0 loss. Eliminated again.
I do feel the need to bring up that in the past 2 years, the 2 most important games in that 2-year span for the Leafs, they have a combined 1 goal.
Can't forget the 6 against.
And the 6 against. Wait, no, it's not 6. It's
7. 6. It's 7. They lost 4-0 to Columbus.
Was it 4-1 Montreal or was it 3-1?
No, it's 3-1.
Oh, it's 3-1. Okay. 6.
3-1 to remind us of that. 6-1 in those last 2 games. If we combine every game 7 since 2013, and you would not believe how many round 1 game 7s one team can play. It's 5 in essence.
We love our numbers.
5 of the 6 series I've seen them play have gone the distance. They are 0-5 in all of them. The one constant is that William Nylander is the GOAT in Game 7.
Yeah, what the hell?
Nobody else is, but Nylander is.
Well, Willie Nee, baby. Woo!
I thought it was different. I really thought winning the North, playing the bum-ass Canadians, and going on that 3-game win streak and looking so complete in Montreal would be it. And then when they lost that game in Game 5, once again, it was like Game 3 against Columbus. It's not over. But you know in your heart it is.
Yeah, you know what's about to happen.
You don't lose that game that you come back from down 3-0, tie it, go to overtime. You don't lose that. This is a totally different story. We're talking about Toronto's triumphant Game 1 win against Winnipeg if Galchenyuk just dumps the puck into the corner. Not to point fingers.
Just Barrie the GOAT activates. And it's over.
You lose Game 5, and it's like, yeah, it's over.
Just bury the GOAT.
Sperry does it again in Game 6, in another game that you should win. You do the comeback. TJ friggin' Brody scored a goal. That was his second goal as a Leaf.
Just Sperry activates.
Damn it. So you go into Game 7, you're like, you know this is going to suck. I was all for playing 18 holes instead of 9 that day, but everyone decided we're dipping out early. I want to watch the Leafs lose. And watch the Leafs lose, we did.
Yikes.
And herein lies my point. When do we say enough is enough?
Oh, now.
It's one thing.
Now enough is enough. They have to make organizational changes, which it does not seem that they're committed to making. And then the shit show is just going to continue.
What are you going to do reasonably?
I don't think Shanahan should be present anymore because the philosophies that he's brought into the team obviously are not panning out. But they seem committed to keeping him in that position. So that
what can you do?
I think.
Seriously, think about it. I know what you can do. Well, move the team to Hamilton and make the colors black and gold. Call them the Bulldogs, and maybe they'll find some success. Because the city of Toronto is first.
What I think about him is it's time for some big moves to be made. I think the blue line needs a little retooling. I
think their defense is fine.
I think the defense is all right now. Don't get me wrong. And I think they played well in that playoff series. But I think it can be bolstered.
Defense and goaltending were seriously not the fault. Montreal scored more than 3 goals one time. They scored 3 or more goals 3 times.
I think, though, that it can be retooled a little bit to be made stronger and open up spots on the offensive end for players that will actually wake up in the playoffs. So you move some forwards around to strengthen that defense and then bring in guys through free agency that you know will actually perform.
By Kotkaniemi.
Offer sheet, just very.
The thing is, you can't keep doing this to people and expect them to like it, right? This is not some damn BDSM. I don't take pleasure from this pain. That was a questionable statement, but...
That was a very questionable statement.
But what the hell, guys? This was the first ever clear-cut favorite. You win this in 4 series. I've witnessed the Leafs have, and I think the Leafs have had maybe ever. Because we are a sad, pathetic franchise. We are. And you sit here and what do you do? You can make organizational changes. You can make Steve Dangle the head coach.
No. Hey, I'm just saying, if Tortorella was coaching,
you could trade Marner.
Marner would have been benched if Tortorella was coaching.
You could trade Marner. You could bring in playoff warriors, Nick Bonino, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, and other guys who wake up around this time. Huberdeau is actually an incredible player, by the way.
Huberdeau's amazing. But another thing you have to look at as well is that the Leafs are a regular season team, and they've always been that way. They've been winning games not from outworking, tiring out, physically draining the other teams. They've been winning games because they're more skilled. And
here's
how
many
times in a row do we need to see
you can so do that in the playoffs when it works. If you know what I mean. The Leafs did that for 4 games against Montreal. Why couldn't they do it in one of the next 3? Soft.
Because Montreal was doing it to them. Montreal was doing it to
mindset is soft as baby shit. It's incredible. How piss poor.
The way this team plays needs to change is the reality.
Here's the thing. If you buy in
the pretty goals every night in the playoffs. You can rely on the regular season, and they will come in the regular season, as we saw. But you cannot do this in the playoffs.
But you buy into the grit grind crowd You get Nick Foligno for some reason. You get Wayne Simmons.
But
you get old ass Jumbo Joe.
Adding the great grinders.
They suck.
It doesn't change the team's style of play. It might add a little bit of physicality to your line, which is always nice, but it doesn't overall change the concepts and the plays that are drawn up. It does not change the mentality of the team.
We need Matthews, Martin, and Nylander, McCabe.
You need your players to actually work and get a greasy one. I'm gonna throw.
The thing is, that's what McCabe and Engvall do, but they can't play. They can't score.
I am gonna throw. I think it was Game 5. I want to say when Corey Perry
happens
in the locker room. I forgot which player did this first that Perry stole it from. He put his stick in the garbage bin to symbolize that his team needs a greasy goal. The Leafs needed many greasy goals in that series that did not come.
Poking around the net was definitely not where the goals came from, for sure.
Because you send all those Leafs players to the front of the net, and they're all going to get boxed out because they don't outwork the other team. They don't. They rely on their skill. They do not outwork any other team. And that is the issue with the Maple Leafs.
And the penalty kill fell apart in the last
play, so I think you can just assume.
Yeah. Seriously, guy, go to Colorado if you want to win your cup.
Go to Colorado.
But if you need to go somewhere where actually they need to work to win a cup, we can't. It's not that you don't try; it's that you're bad. Jumbo, come on the podcast and tell us about your achy knees because you're 48.
We'll recommend some good creams for you to liven that area up,
Yeah, Diego is a cream expert.
Anyway,
to sum up my argument, I am distraught. And furthermore, I am even more upset by the positive-ass guys. Like, I follow this one account. It's called True Beliefer. And he is blaming the fans for losing this series. He says we don't deserve it because we're not with our team through thick and thin.
What?
Are you looking at this?
I remember
you
the
have
paper bag.
Stockholm Syndrome.
I remember the paper bags.
You telling us that
I'm not a Leafs fan, and I don't like Leafs fans, but they've been in it. I'll give it to them. They have been through stuff, man.
You're telling me all the tears we've shed over some shitter ass performances going maybe next year is not enough because we finally put our foot down and said, I'm tired of losing. I'm very frustrated. And for some reason, this for you was good enough and they'll do it next year maybe.
Well, my next question after that is, first of all, do you expect Keefe back next year? And second of all,
yes.
Do you want Keefe back next year?
I fully 100% expect Keefe back next year. I don't mind Keefe. I have a problem with the things he says in the media. It's like, after the Leafs will put up a stinker, he'll be like, yep, the guys knew they didn't play good enough, and we weren't playing good enough, and we suck. It's like, are you aware that you're the coach and that you can kind of do stuff about this? I don't know if he knows that. But during the game, you can actually talk to the players and like make lineup adjustments and stuff, and sometimes it works out better.
I've seen
you have to like motivate him. It's not cheating.
I don't like Keefe. I don't think Keefe should be the coach of this team. He's made many questionable decisions, in my own opinion. Like, we can go to the beginning of this playoff series against Montreal, where he openly says to the media, I'm not going to hide our players from anything. I will not be line matching. And, Leafs still won games, but in the long run, that did not work out for them.
Probably should have been line matching 7.
Literally.
Especially Game 5 when you could have got Phil Deneau off of Matthews and Marner, and maybe Marner could have scored a goal, and maybe we wouldn't be having this conversation about how the guys.
I look back to earlier this season when they dressed 7D sometimes, and Sandin is that 7th defenseman, and he played 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. What's the point of dressing him as a 7th defenseman if you're going to play him 5 minutes while he's 20? Is he 20 or 21?
Mm-hmm. He's a young guy.
You don't dress a 20.
He was in the World Juniors 2 years ago.
You can be the Leafs, a team that was like basically guaranteed to make the playoffs from like a quarter through the season, and you're going to play a 20-year-old and play him 5 minutes? No, this is the guy you want ice time so you can develop him into something. So I don't like that. I go back to last year against Columbus when, for Game 5, he puts Tavares, Matthews, Marner on one line to start the game. Game 5, you need depth through your lineup. You can't load up at the start of the game. If third period and you're losing and you want to do that, okay. But loading up to start the game, you're asking Columbus to just line match you the whole night.
That is smart. That is very smart take from Diego Rosa right there.
I don't understand what Sheldon Keefe does. He is an AHL coach, and that is where he should have stayed. I get why Dubas wanted to bring him up. Dubas has the history with him. He was successful in the AHL, but that doesn't mean it's going to translate, and from what we've seen, it did not translate. And it goes back to what I was saying. With the system they play, they don't outwork other teams. They win off star power.
And it's hard to win off star power when your stars disappear.
Exactly. It's hard to win It's hard to win off star power when Phil Deneau and Brandon Gallagher are in their face the entire night.
I don't think I can blame 3 of the 4 stars, to be honest, though. Nylander had an excellent series. Tavares played 3 minutes. Matthews and Marner gets dicey.
I will blame Marner. I think the expectation of Marner is a lot higher, especially with the contract he is making.
Mm-hmm. Matthews scores his 40 goals.
Matthews I'm lenient on because Matthews
plays defensively, he plays physically, and he was getting triple teamed.
I put partial blame on Matthews because he still should have been producing, but as I was talking about Keefe, I put partial blame on Matthews' performances on Keefe as well.
Matthews shot 1% in that series. I think. Wait, no. That can't be right. That means he took like 100 shots. Hold on.
Yeah, that would mean he took 100.
He was like one for like 37 or something. Matthews shot like 2%.
Yikes.
2.7% for the series. So he almost shot 2%.
Well, let's actually talk about round 2 now. Let's actually talk about round 2 now.
Should we actually preview stuff that's happening now? Or whatever, review it?
Let's start with last night. We had the Bruins win in overtime with the shittiest overtime goal in history to take a 2-1 series lead over the New York Islanders. How are you feeling about
that? Man, it was a great shot. Matt Murray's a great goalie, so it was really surprising to see that goal go in. It was a good shot by Marchand. No, it wasn't. No, it was not. Murray really should have had that one. I think
okay, I can't tell if you're actually just mistaking Varlamov for Murray now, or if you're still playing. Okay, at the first one, I was like, that's funny, and then you said it again, and I was like,
Yeah. Maybe I should land. That was maybe a little overboard. I'm trying to really drill home the point that if you play in the East Division, your glove hand sucks. For some reason, the curse was passed on from Sorokin to Jari to Varlamov, which means it's going to hit Rask pretty soon. I think that series is far from over.
And then Swagman plays.
Swagman! When are they going to give this guy a chance? I think that series is far from over. I think the Islanders play a boring enough style of hockey that they'll make it go the distance, but overall the Bruins should win this one.
2017 Ottawa Senators neutral zone trap.
That was the most exciting playoff team I've ever watched. I don't understand all that.
I love that system so much.
We liked it. Okay, now imagine Chicago was playing Ottawa in the Stanley Cup final. Imagine Chicago didn't get swept by some Nashville Lassie bullshit, and then Chris Kunitz was never born. And that happened.
Then I wouldn't love that system. Yeah, okay.
That system would suck.
I mean, it works really well, especially when you have like a defenseman like Carlson who can make those passes in your back end.
Oh my god. Oh. That Sens playoff run, I'm a Leafs fan. Well, I was a Leafs fan.
With the team the Sens have, they could fully run that system again. With the team they have right now, they could fully run that system again.
I think the Sens, hot take, should get Jack Eichel.
What would they trade?
Matt Murray.
1 for 1.
Watch this pan out, Loki. Just wait for Eichel to become a free. Wait, he already signed his contract.
He's not free. Their first round pick this year.
What if there was a way to keep all the good stuff that they have and then just give away the bad things?
It would have to be their first round pick this year. I think Norris, Batherson, Kachuk, and Stützle are untouchables.
Yeah, for sure.
So it would have to be the first round this year. Abramov, one of their defensive prospects. So probably Bernard Docker.
Brandstrom?
No, not Brandstrom. I can't see them moving Brandstrom. So I'd see Bernard Docker.
I like Bernard Docker over Brandstrom, to be honest. But that's because he's a good old Canadian boy.
I see them more likely to move him, I see them more likely to keep Brandstrom. So yeah, Bernard Docker, and then maybe Decord.
It's a pretty steep price, but could you imagine how nasty they are with Jack Eichel?
The center depth would be great.
Could you imagine Eichel,
Norris,
Chuck, Stützle?
The center depth: Eichel, Norris, Pinto. That's a very good first three.
That's a very good first three.
Now
you lose out on a young defender.
White out of there.
Yeah, but that's something you really build off. And an offense like that, especially in the Atlantic Division next year, could you imagine having 6 teams gunning for a playoff?
I think Ottawa's making the playoffs next year. A lot of people call me crazy, but I think Ottawa's in next year.
If they keep the North Division around, yes.
No, I think in the normal in the Atlantic, they can be a wild card. I think they can be a wild card.
No, there's hell no. Unless they're the 5.
You've got my top 3 right now is Toronto, Tampa, Florida. Not in that particular order, just those 3.
Tampa, Florida, Boston. Everyone thinks Boston's going to take a step back, but they're not.
I have Boston and Ottawa as the 2 wild cards, both from the Atlantic.
Boston's definitely built for the playoffs, but damn, is that one good team. That is a really good team.
It is. Swagman.
Swagman as the starter, too. I think Toronto will sneak in as a wild card team because they're just disappointing.
You think Toronto's going to be a wild card team?
And then if Ottawa, for one,
other wild card because Metro, I think Metro's gonna be really interesting next year. I think the Rangers will make the top 3.
Canes, Rangers, Islanders, and then Pittsburgh. Just think of. Hold on, let me go the standings, the normal standings.
Can we agree that Washington is shitters next year?
Probably, but then again, you can't count them out in the regular season.
Yeah.
Think of how dirty, absolutely dirty, the Eastern Conference is going to be next year.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Listen, you've got Tampa, Boston, Toronto, Florida, shoe-in playoff team. Montreal should be a playoff team if they can build off the success. Ottawa,
making it next year.
Ottawa could definitely gun for something.
Hey, Ottawa had the best record since the trade deadline in the league, I'm pretty sure.
New Jersey sucks. Other than that, Rangers
are going to be nasty. Rangers are going to be
nasty. Carolina's going to be great. Islanders are going to do their thing too. Pens you can't ever count out
because of Crosby and Malkin and Gensel.
They just somehow do something in the regular season. Flyers, it's every other year. It's going to be an even number year next year, so the Flyers are making the playoffs.
Flyers need to sell and build off new.
And then after that, who else do you have? The Capitals, who always do something. You have in one division 6 playoff teams, in another division 6 playoff teams. And then you have, of course, New Jersey, Columbus, Buffalo, and Detroit. The East is going to be absolutely dirty. Compare that to next year's Western Conference. The Pacific Division.
Edmonton, Vegas, Seattle.
Seattle probably has the best chance. Who else is going to play?
My West here. Want me to lay out all my West playoff teams for you for next year?
Who?
All right. I have 4 from each division.
Sorry, not the West. Oh, wait. Yeah.
In the West, I have 4 from each division. From the Pacific, I have, in no particular order, Edmonton, Vegas, Seattle, Vancouver.
Okay.
And in the Central, once again, no particular order, Colorado, Minnesota, Chicago, and then Dallas or Nashville. I can't choose between those 2.
No Winnipeg?
No Winnipeg.
Really?
Unless a drastic change is made to that defense, I do not pick Winnipeg in there.
True.
If they make the
can't count out that offense, though.
If they make that defense adjustment, then get Chicago out of there, but Winnipeg in. I think Chicago has enough bullshit next year to just do something finally. So that's what I'm
thinking about. Minnesota. Wow, that Central Division's even going to be dirty. The NHL is going to be OP next year.
But Arizona moves into the Central next year, which makes me happy as a Blackhawks.
Bad. So bad.
We get to play Arizona
maybe that'll be
more
the
time.
Year.
Yeah.
That'll be that random ass year where Arizona makes the playoffs, goes on a random deep run, and then dips out for another 10 years.
And then offer sheet Austin Matthews.
They should.
Well,
he's just trade for Matthews.
He's a UFA at the end of his, right? Because he signed 5, right? 5 years?
Yeah, I signed 5.
So he'd be a UFA, yeah.
Just sign him. I've made peace with it. He's gone. Maybe Well, I would have said maybe we'd win a cup with him one time. Anyways, what are the other second round series that we?
Wait.
We kind of lost the plot.
Think about it. So John Tavares comes to Toronto, where he's now close with Austin Matthews. And Austin Matthews looks at him and goes, so this guy told his organization not to trade him and then continued to screw off for his hometown. So what if Austin Matthews picks up on that, tells the Leafs, don't trade me, I'll stay, and then screws over the division, screws over the team and leaves for his hometown? And then we'll get the chance, Robertson's better.
I would say Marner's better, but no.
We don't.
That would be the thing. Is that would be so awesome to see the Scotiabank Arena actually rocking. Because I can't remember the last time I've seen that place.
You know what? As toxic as Islanders fans are, they have so much energy, man.
So much energy. It's so fun watching their home games.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Barzy's better.
All of them are toxic. Like you got some good things in there.
They're all toxic. They're all toxic.
You got like Pellick Posse. That shit's cool. I like that. Like.
I hate Pellick. Moving on, Diego. There are 3 more series we should be previewing.
Vegas,
we already did our Montreal Winnipeg preview, so that's Montreal.
Vegas, Colorado. I don't want either of these teams to win, but I have to choose one of them. So let's go Colorado.
Me too. I think that Colorado is probably randomly the best team in the league for no reason. And
I'm taking Colorado just because I still have nightmares of Riley Smith open in the slot from the playoff series versus Chicago last year. So
the one that no one watched and didn't matter.
Me, overtime game 3.
You were literally the only one that watched that.
About to take a 3-0 series lead. Chicago forced overtime in the 3rd. Within the first 5 minutes, Riley Smith just drives the slot. No one within 6 feet of their social distancing because of COVID.
Yeah.
Riley Smith wide open in the slot. Easiest pass of William Karlsson's life. So I have nightmares about Riley Smith wide open in the slot.
Wide open in the slot. The thing I love about hockey in the South is the fans. For some reason, in the North, you get, especially in Canada, I don't know what's the point of being so polite.
Winnipeg's the only heated fan base. They bring energy.
Why is it so polite in the arenas all the time?
Oh, in the arenas. I was polite. Have you seen these guys on social media?
Why is it so polite in the arenas all the time?
David's always saying, stay classy, Hab fans.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to me why you get in there and, there's no noise. I know Sportsnet nerfs the shit out of the crowd noise, but seriously, where's the random, where's the screaming, where's the chanting, where's the jumping?
Winnipeg are the only ones where I hear fans.
Montreal in the playoffs. You remember that one PK Subban goal? That is the loudest crowd noise I've ever heard, I think.
Oh,
he jumps out of the box against Boston and dangles the shit out of Tuukka Rask. That's an incredible goal. I watch that sometimes, even though I'm not a Habs fan, just to hear that play.
Just to feel something. Yeah.
I love watching the games in Vegas. I loved watching the games in Florida. I love watching the games on the island, and even in Boston. As much as it triggers my PTSD, I love watching them go nuts, and that's that's how it should be. Like this, it's a crazy ass sport. I don't care if it's just a dumping. Get up and scream.
Yeah, no,
right?
For sure. Actually,
why in
I'll
Canada
tell you
is
one more
everyone
thing
so
why Vegas will win. I'll give you one more reason.
One more reason.
Pete DeBoer. Pete
he wins
DeBoer
just
is an elite coach. If you want to go make a run in the playoffs, get Pete DeBoer. But
if you want to win, don't get Pete DeBoer.
Because he goes on playoff runs but never finishes them.
Never finishes the job.
He always goes on a run, but never finishes it. He's cursed.
Honestly, bring DeBoer to Toronto.
You can go on a run.
They'll win a round. They'll win 2 rounds. They might even win 3.
They'll win 3 rounds and 3 games in the Stanley Cup final.
Sure, they'll lose Stanley Cup final game 7. Sure, they'll win 15 games and lose. But that's progress. That is progress. Or maybe the curses cancel each other out and the Leafs just miss the playoffs entirely.
Yeah, that's possible.
Entirely possible. Last series, the one no one watched.
Carolina Tampa. Woo! Who expected that to be the lowest scoring series?
Aho goal last night.
Oh my god, I watched that right before we did this. That pass by Teravainen.
It's a pretty ballsy pass. Right into 4 guys.
We traded them Teravainen for I don't even know. A bag of pucks, I think. I think we got a 3rd round pick. I think we traded them.
And that deal just gets sweeter and sweeter every day.
I'm actually googling it because it hurts watching Teravainen do things.
Tuevo, the Finnish god to another Finnish god. I think Tampa wins this series, and I think my second chance bracket would look something like this. The Avs beat Vegas. The Bruins will beat those guys. I think Carolina is going to pull through and beat the Lightning. You heard it here first, Carolina. You lost. And then
I just searched it up.
Montreal is going to beat the Jets.
Brian Bickle, and Teuvo Teravainen were traded to the Carolina Hurricanes in exchange for a 2nd round pick, 50th overall, and a 3rd round pick in the 2017 draft. We gave up Bickle and Teravainen for 2 picks.
It depends.
Who did we draft?
What draft pick? Who'd they draft?
The 2nd round and the 3rd round. I'm going to check who we draft. Chicago 2017 draft. Oh, I should probably specify Blackhawks. I'm getting Chicago Bears draft picks.
Yeah. Chicago is the 5th most popular team.
We drafted Ian Mitchell in the 2nd round.
Baller pick.
And Andre Altibarmakian.
Who?
He's first liner on our AHL team right now.
Andre Altibarmakian?
Altibarmakian. He has a very long last name. Altybarmakyan.
Andre Altibarmakian.
Also, the Canes are not going to win as much as I want them to. Tampa Bay is going to kick the shit out of them and win in 5.
Nope. Last night was a TSN turning point.
That's what I said when Florida won Game 3. Don't even.
Tampa's going to do their Cox circumvention. God.
No, it'd be really funny if Tampa and Colorado both get swept in round 3. So that's what I'm holding out for.
I think that the Bruins are going to be the guys that beat Tampa. They're going to go to Cup final for the 3rd time.
Islanders in 7 is all I'm saying.
No, they just don't shoot enough. And Barzal sucks too.
Hey,
he's got
but hey,
Tyson Berry amounts of primary points.
You know what Barzal got last night?
Was it a primary assist?
He got a greasy goal. Something the Leafs.
He got a greasy goal. Oh my god! Wait, he scored a goal?
He was jamming at the side of the net until it went in. Just kept smacking at that puck until it went in.
Didn't see the Leafs do that one time. All their goals were snipes because they're that godly. I think the Bruins should handle business. 5 or 6.
Isles in 7.
I think the Habs' dream should end in round 3. I mean, it'd be funny if they won, I guess.
It would be funny if they went to the Cup Finals. That's what I'm kind of pulling for.
Avs Bruins final. I think the Avs are going to take it. This should hopefully be the boring year where the President's Trophy winner wins it. I'd love to see McKinnon get his cup before it's too late. Gabriel Landeskog get his cup before it's too late. Rantanen get his cup before it's too late. And Makar get his cup before it's too late. Because honestly, if they lose again, they're going to be the playoff choker team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want Islanders, Habs, or Jets to win. I don't like seeing the super teams win. So...
Me neither, but who cares? It's at least there wasn't like, I don't know, Gabriel. They had that team, and then I don't know, Sean Corral, not Sean Corrali. God, I'm think of a star. Alex Barkov was like, I'm coming here in the off season. We're forming the big 3, and then you just have like NBA style super team. I'm requesting a trade, but
when Tampa cheats with the salary cap,
that's true. Okay, and then they do the Nets thing. I'm requesting a trade, but only to Tampa.
I'm okay with teams being over the salary cap in the offseason. That's in the rules. That's allowed. What makes me mad is that Kucherov was skating for months before the season ended, but was not fit to play until the playoffs. Okay. Whatever you say, Tampa Bay medical staff.
This is corruption. This is the actual... Diego, can you pull up a picture of John Cooper?
Of John Cooper? Oh, you have to give me a minute.
Okay. We're going to wait a minute for Diego to...
This is our final segment of the day, guys, so enjoy it.
The final segment of the day. I guess I'll talk about basketball for Aiden.
Do we want him with the cup? Do we want...
No, we just want a photo of John Cooper. Like a headshot, maybe. Anyway, this is the basketball segment for Aiden. Go Mavs. I love Lukas Doncic. Kristaps sucks for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. Luka Doncic and Tim Hardaway Jr. are taking it home tonight, and the Clippers are basically like the Capitals before they won that cup.
Well, here is Alexis Lafreniere on you. Actually, no, I don't want to get... Oh, yeah, I'm just going to create a new image slide because I have Alexis Lafreniere and I have Alex in a Sens jersey.
That doesn't exist. That false image, that does not exist.
So I'm going to just create a new image tab completely. Your screen is black right now, people. I know, but I'm putting an image up. Just wait 1 second. Browse. I'm finding it. Okay, so John Cooper is on your screen right now. He's there, Alex. Take it away.
This is the face of corruption.
I mean, wouldn't that more accurately be Julien Brisebois?
No. John Cooper is basically the... Nobody thinks of the GM. Like, what team do you think of the GM? Detroit and Colorado. Because that's Sakic and Yzerman.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's fair.
Joe Sakic. Is it Sakic or Sakic?
Sakic.
Right? Because that's what all you Americans call him. But if we were back in the homeland...
Back in the homeland.
Sakic. Anyways, that is a face of corruption.
Well, we've had a roller coaster of emotions today.
I will not rest until John Cooper is arrested.
We've had a roller coaster of emotions today, Alex.
For ruining the Panthers' miracle run.
After all of that,
I would like to thank John Cooper, however, for making the Panthers still the only team more pathetic than the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Thank you all for watching so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I have to chill. I'm sorry. I had to chill. Guys. I had to chill.
You guys remember the graph. You all know.
We're not even going to put the graph.
You all know why we have to do
because you guys know about the graph. We don't even have to put it up.
You guys know about the graph. You know why we need to chill.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
Don't be sus. Subscribe if you watched.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.